So, you want to know what it costs to live in Leesburg, Virginia? Well, I've lived here for 25 years now, and boy, have things changed a lot in that span of time. I'm going to be talking about exactly what it costs to live in Leesburg, so stay tuned. Hey friends, Maggie Hatfield here with 15 West Homes, and if this is your first time to our channel, please make sure, it's a little windy today, you tap the subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can be notified every time we do a new video. We get a ton of calls from people who are looking to move to Northern Virginia area as well as Leesburg, which is what I'm talking about right now, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving to the Leesburg, Virginia area, or even the Northern Virginia area, please reach out, shoot us a text, give us a phone call, send us an email, whatever works for you, days, nights, and weekends. We have your back when it comes to moving to the Leesburg, Virginia area. As I said earlier, I've lived in the Leesburg, Virginia area now for 25 years, and I have seen a lot of changes regarding the cost to live here. So I've done the research and compared it to US rankings, so you don't have to, you're welcome. I've taken standard staple items and the prices for those, and I'm going to compare them against the national average so you get a true sense of what it costs to live in Leesburg, Virginia. I'm going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. As always, any comments or additions, please feel free to put them in the comments section. So let's get at it. Leesburg, Virginia is in Loudoun County, which is one of the richest counties in the United States, so it would make sense that it would be more expensive to live here than other places. In fact, Northern Virginia in general is one of the costlier places to live, and that's primarily driven by the housing market and how much we've seen price appreciation over the last, well, definitely COVID times, but even before that. One thing to note about this area is that a lot of the national market stats and dynamics don't often apply to here. And that could be a good thing, for example, home values, or a bad thing, property taxes, taxes in general, and cost to buy a home, depending on your situation. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down the cost of some major staple items, and we're going to compare it to the United States in general, and the United States is going to be 100, and then our ranking will be a score most likely above that or close to that, depending on what I'm talking about. This will allow you to get a true sense of what it costs to live in Leesburg, Virginia. Leesburg's overall score is 149, so we are 49 points higher than the national average. So it gives you a sense of kind of in general, generally speaking, what it costs to live here. However, there are positives and negatives, and I'm going to be straight up honest when I'm talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like to start with the good things first, so we're going to start with the quality of life here. Quality of life here in Leesburg is pretty high. We come in 103 out of 2022. We have so many great amenities here in Leesburg, Virginia, from national battle sites to local professional sports to historic mansions and other historically registered buildings to wineries and breweries, great public and private schools, great hiking trails, you name it, we have it, but you can't forget the very charming downtown Leesburg. Okay, another good is we are ranked as one of the best places to live. We are in the top 7% of the best places to live worldwide. We rank 103rd in the United States, and we're in the top 4 cities for best places to live in the Virginia area. Okay, the next good. The median household income here is $144,444, which is 54% more than the entire state of Virginia. We are surrounded by high-tech, government, and education job options, so there are plenty of job opportunities to be had here. Next up for the good, chicken. Who knew? A little random, but nonetheless, everyone I know pretty much eats meat, except for me. So chicken is actually less than the national average by a whopping 7%. And if that's not a reason to move here, I don't know what else I can do. Next up on the good list, utilities. Your cost of utilities are almost at the national average, so nothing to complain about there. And in fact, the cost of gas is 5% lower than national average, and your overall cost for utilities is slightly below the national average as well. Next up on the good list is healthcare. The cost of healthcare here is very close to the national average. We have 2 major hospitals here, so you have a lot of options just in the Leesburg area for stellar care and places to go if you have an emergency, and you will be very well taken care of. All right, moving on to the bad. Your cost to rent is higher than the national average by 104%. The average cost to rent here on a monthly basis is right around $2,400 a month. Next up is, of course, cost to buy. The median home price in Leesburg, Virginia is right around $740,000, and that's compared to the national average of $338,000. Leesburg has grown quite a bit since I moved here in 1998. There have been many new housing developments built because of the demand of people wanting to live here, which has driven the prices up. As a matter of fact, when I moved here in 1998, we bought our first home for $298,000, and I almost had a heart attack. Those same houses are selling for mid-700s now, so the prices have gone up quite a bit. Even though home prices in Leesburg have almost doubled in the span of time that I've been here, we're still considered, quote unquote, more affordable than houses as you move closer to the DC area. Next up on the bad list is groceries. Our grocery bill is about 13 points higher than the national average, so not too bad, but it's still on the bad list. We have lots of options to choose from, including my favorite, which is Wegmans. We also have a Super Target and a Costco, and many other grocery chains that you can choose from, as well as organic options. We also have a Trader Joe's and a Whole Foods close by. So having all these great options to organic and high-end food stores is driving that cost of grocery price up. Next up on the bad list is daycare. We have over 70 daycare options in the Leesburg area alone. But before you move here, make sure you have your daycare lined up so you're ready to go with that. The average cost of daycare is $1,066 a month. And when you compare that to the national average of $889, you can see that it's quite a bit more expensive than the national average. And in fact, in most regions, cost of daycare is the most expensive thing that a household pays for, and that is above your mortgage payment or your housing payment. Okay, now it's time to get down to the ugly. So, while Leesburg is one of the best places to live from several ranking reports, it's also the most expensive place to live by other ranking reports. In fact, it's in the top 19% of the most expensive cities to live in the world. So it follows that the cost of shelter is higher compared to the national average. The average cost to rent, as we covered earlier, is 51% higher than the national average, coming in at $2,400 a month. And the cost of a mortgage is 51% higher, or $2,700 per month higher than the national average. The good news for homeowners: it is very unlikely that your home will decrease in value should you decide to purchase here in Leesburg, Virginia. So there's some good things about Leesburg, Virginia, and maybe some not so good things about Leesburg, Virginia, but it's better to come in with your eyes wide open so you know how much it costs to live in this lovely city. If this information hasn't swayed your interest in moving to our beautiful city of Leesburg, Virginia, or even the Northern Virginia area, then you need to reach out so we can help you, you and your family, you and your partner, you and your dog, you and your cat, whomever, help you find a place and call Leesburg, Virginia home. So give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, weekends. We have your back when it comes to moving to Leesburg, Virginia.